Hi, church family. My name is John Robinson, and I'm here to talk to you about a new program that the missions team is starting. This program is called the Samaritan Project. The Samaritan Project is based upon the story of the Good Samaritan, the parable of the Good Samaritan, which is contained in Luke chapter 10, verse 25 through 37. I want to introduce this by telling you a couple of stories. First, have you ever experienced a situation where a woman who was obviously poor, drove an old car, old clothes, came up and parked next to you at a gas pump on the other side of the pumps, and looked like she was in need, but she was having to pay $4.75 a gallon for gas. She walked into a convenience store in order to use what funds she might have to pay for gas and maybe save a little for food. Another situation. A man was waiting at the corner of Travis and Taylor Street, a very busy intersection. He stood there through a light. I was there and watched him. He stood there through a light that would allow him to walk across the street. When he didn't go, I was wondering about that. So the next time the light changed, I drove away. Later I found that the man didn't go when his light turned green and it was time for him to go because he could just barely walk. And he must have been waiting for the traffic to diminish so that he wasn't having to worry about getting hit by an automobile at the intersection. Clearly he would needed a ride. Another experience, and this happened to me in a town about 2 hours from Sherman. I was in a checkout line after a fairly long day at work and checking out with some, I guess what I'd call travel snacks. And when I checked out, there seemed to be a discrepancy in the bill, and I told the checker that there was a mistake because he had underpriced my the snacks that I'd bought. And he told me that no, he had not underpriced it, that the lady in front of me had paid $10 on my bill. So I thought, well, I must have really looked tired, but I didn't quite understand it. When I got home, I talked to my daughter about this, and she said, yeah, that's a program that goes around sometimes. It's called Pay It Forward. This left a great impression on me, and the Samaritan Project concept will allow us to interact with our neighbors in need at the time when our paths cross and we intersect with them. The thing we have to do is we have to be ready to interact with them, and I'll call this after a terminology from an airline CEO in Europe, and call this moments of truth. So these interactions aren't every day necessarily, but they do come as moments of truth. And at these moments of truth, our response has to be ready, and our spirit needs to be defined in such a way that we can help them either with cash or a ride or some other method. So here's how this program is envisioned to work. We need to be ready to act when a moment of truth is in our lives with a neighbor. So the way you can do this in the cash-wise is you can put some cash in the glove box or compartment in your car, however much that you feel you can budget. Put $100 bills, $50 bills, $20 bills, $10 bills, and choose an amount you want to spend every month and put them in there so you will be ready, because if you have to fiddle around through a wallet or something like that, the moment of truth will be gone and bypass you. Sometimes it's not money, it's a ride, as I mentioned, the man at the corner of Travis and Taylor Street. We have to be spiritually moved that this person needs help, he or she is my neighbor, and this is time to help them. Possibly $20 of gas money could have helped the lady with the old car buy a little more food or maybe some new clothing and helped her out immensely. We need to act at the moment of truth. The next thing we need to do is we need to tell our stories. We need to do this in an anonymous way. The church is facilitating this, and we will submit our stories of Acts of a Samaritan to the church, and they will then be published in the church weekly newsletter so that we can all learn from each other's work. So in summary, what we need to do is to respond in the moment of truth, be generous, tell your story. May God bless us and bless our church. Thank you.